Hey, what is up, guys? It's Gus with Stock Trading TV. Alright, so SPY's currently sitting at 255.65. Total profit for the day, just two trades. Well, actually, there were several trades. I was actually scalping, but just two stocks, AMD and Apple, for a total of $1,140.73 profit for a Monday. Could have gone a little better. Fumbled a couple times, but that is because I'm being extremely tight with my stops and extremely quick with taking profits. It's still extremely choppy out there, but luckily there was a lot more range in the SPY today, and so I was able to work the same flags to the downside. So anyways, two trades here. Apple was 265.81. AMD 874.92. So let's recap the day. Let me remove this here. Let's take a look at Apple here in the first. I like to trade the 2-minute time frames. It depends. I mean, I'm always looking at the larger picture, of course, starting with a daily, then zooming into the hourly, 15, and the 5. But taking this day by day, as if, of course, there's no. Just taking it day by day, the stock market can be up one day, down the next day. And so anyways, going into the morning, take a look here. Let me pop open the trades. Going into the morning, I was noticing Apple, the SPYs had gapped down slightly, and it was starting to sell off. But Apple was showing some strength this morning. So I always like to take a starter. My bias, when we had a gap down this morning, my bias was not to short because it's just way too extended. So I'm thinking, we're gonna have a bounce. We're gonna have some kind of bounce, and if we do, I'm gonna start positioning myself for that bounce. So now, right at this level here, I took a small feeler trade just to. There's a different. You view a trade differently when you have some money on the line versus when you don't. At least for me, it's just the way it works. So, took a feeler trade here just to see, just to get a feel for the market. Market was the S&P was continuing to sell off at the time, and I'm watching the price action because for me, it's just the candles tell you everything you need to know. So, you have a quick recovery here, pop, big and bullish engulfing candle. Pretty much anything that went on here as far as selling went was consumed here. Okay, and then right as we set up this small flag here, I decided to add to the position. Again, trading small. I want to start the morning off slow, and I believe, this is where I sold off. Oh no, I added here. Correct. So I added here, and I added here. And my thinking was, if we're going to start trending up for the day, I'm going to continue to add, okay? I was expecting some type of a bounce, but always, of course, preparing for the other scenario. You cannot be biased, too biased to one side. And so, and I believe when this break failed, it made a lower high, then we have, immediately got slammed. I decided to, in hindsight now looking, I should have just, that's easier said than done, but this should have just continued onward. But when it dipped below, I should have been out here. Could have saved myself a solid 40 cents. But so anyways, I scratched on that trade, and then I saw an immediate ramp up, a quick recovery. Right off this blue line here is the volume weighted average price. And so I saw a quick recovery. I decided to get back in, and let's see where it went. So we got a pop through, and action was going pretty well, and I decided to start selling out here. So bought some here, sold some here, and then I reshorted on this candle. And let's see, that didn't go too well. Yeah, I gave back a little bit. I was up like $400 on Apple. Again, small trades, just staying safe in this environment. It's very choppy, and I think after that I left it alone. I tried to short again here, and Yeah, that's right. I tried a short here at this test of the 20 SMA, which is something I usually do after seeing a decent candle retest. That didn't work out, so I didn't question it. I was out. And yeah, that was it. I left it alone after that because I figured, okay, let me just... And then AMD started taking my attention. And of course, you can see the rest of the day right now. This is where we are currently. But, you know, after 1 o'clock or so, I mean, there's just really the range. Just look at the range. It slows down and it just kind of becomes this choppy situation. So, nothing there. Just left it alone. And it's currently 3:06 p.m. Cut it fairly early today. So, now let's take a look at AMD. So this is today's price action on AMD, and what I was looking for here is, as soon as I saw it, let me turn these off. As soon as I saw these topping tails, now let me go back and draw an hourly chart. You see this ascending triangle or wedge, however you want to call it. This is what I was looking at the night before. Okay, and so since the night before had closed somewhere around here, I figured, you know, this might give a good short at some point. So, zooming back into the 2-minute, this is the price action today. And again, these topping tails here start telling you something. Okay, there's selling going on here. This is that trend line from that ascending triangle. And we got a little bit of a drop. Then we got another test. Here's the 200 period moving average. It's you know, it's one of the most looked at moving averages, and so you usually get a lot of reactions. Of course, if you have a stock that shows no reaction to a particular moving average, then you just don't consider that moving average. But when you do see it, you pay attention. And so let me pop open the trades. So let's see, I went short 500 here just to test the waters, because after these topping tails, we got a bearish engulfing candle right there. And we have a retest of that trend line, so I decided to watch it, added some more, and covered on the wash. And you see that it ramped up. I waited for the same scenario. I waited for a fail of the trend line, fail of the 200-day moving average, so you can say that's several catalysts there. And then we had a retest of that trend line. And again, I took a short here, 2,000 shares, and covered down on the washes. Same thing. It started trending down and took some here on the 13 EMA. You see the topping tails. You got to let the price action go through time a little bit and watch what the candles are doing. See where it's failing. See where it's regaining. Okay? And the rest of these are just scalps. You know, topping tails, covered in the wash. Same thing. Shorted here, covered in the wash. And then I decided to go long. Oh, actually, I put a bid in at 1913. Let me zoom in on this. I went long here. 1913 is where I decided to go long for a quick scalp. I was bidding 1913, took it and sold out at 1919. So it was a very quick scalp. Same thing here. I took it at 1898, just below the crack, just below the $19 whole number, and sold that one at 1907. Again, another quick scalp, and that was it. This is the current status of AMD. You know, yes, you can always go back in hindsight and say you hold, etc., but that's not what I'm going after, because I don't know what's going to happen after this. You know what I mean? So as long as I time my entry properly, and I'm taking profits as they're handed to me, you know, you can build a nice day, and you know, just small profits add up. I'm not trying to go for the home run. Those home runs happen every now and then, but if they happen, they're just icing on the cake. They're not. You're not to be out there looking for home runs. So, anyways, that was the day today. As it sits, the S&P 500 still selling off. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, it's a pretty big drop, but it, you know, we're coming out to this level of support, so it would be very very important to see how this level reacts here. Around 255 or so. And, you know, this may give a decent bounce on some place. So, who knows? But I think for now, I'm just going to be done for the day. We'll walk away and let's see how things set up towards the close and have a plan ready for tomorrow. So always stay safe. This is a choppy market. This isn't the market to be buying dips. Buying dips is a strategic process. Just because something's falling doesn't mean you buy it. Okay, you need to see signs of a bottom. You need to, you know, pay attention to see if the price action is favorable for that. You're better off waiting for this thing to bottom. And bottoms, V bottoms are rare. Bottoms do take time to form. Okay, so you're not, you know, in this game, the idea is not to try to catch bottoms, especially if you're like going for a longer term. You're not trying to catch a bottom. You want to put your money with in an asset that's performing, not one that's bleeding out. You know, so anyways, just some thoughts. I'll try to report back tomorrow, and I'm still working on that marijuana video for the marijuana stocks technical analysis. But anyways, I'm gonna sign off. As always, stay safe, manage risk. Don't forget.
Number one rule of Wall Street: nobody. I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in fucking circles. Least of all stockbrokers. Right? It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
Oh, fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.